Yes, who's bothering me? It's me. Me who? Well, YouTube. I can't. I'm in my bath. Ah, what a shame. I had 1,000,000 subscribers to offer you. Well, it's okay. I'll go see someone else. Wait, don't go. I'm here. I'm washing myself fully dressed. It's to save time. Everything's fine. Welcome to the video and the bathroom. We'll install the door separating the closet from the bathroom entrance. The door frame is slightly offset. That's intentional. I'll explain why in a moment. I built a partition so the sliding door can go behind it, and soon we'll install another sliding door to close off the hallway. And if you just happen to come across this and you're wondering what I'm talking about, I'm in the process of turning a laundry room into a bathroom. And if you want to see all the episodes, I've created a playlist and you'll find the link in the description. For the hydro key plate partition, we'll pause for now as I'm waiting for the water heater. In a few days, I'll bring it into the room, making it a technical and laundry room. I'll bring it in directly without bothering to go through the door frame, and once it's inside, I'll make the opening in the floor. To access the crawl space, I'll remove about 6 tiles from the floor. And once the opening is made, I can finish putting up the partition and installing the door. And of course, we'll come back to it for the water inlets, the drains, and so on. The advantage of having put up this partition is that it lets me define the location of the room and know exactly where I'm making my hatch. I prefer to make the hole in the floor, install the water heater, then put up the partition. It's more practical that way. We'll focus on the partition I need to install here. I've marked its location on the floor. It's marked the same way. There are 2 screws in the ceiling. I'll explain their purpose later. I'm putting up the partition so that'll define the closet space, and between this partition and the studs, I'll put a sheet of drywall. Then I'll be able to install the door. I'm moving the bathroom door on purpose because I don't want it in the usual spot. At first you see the track, I had put it there, I need to cut it, but in the end, since I want to have a closet, I might as well bring it over here. That saves me space, and I also have a partition to put up in front of this door. It's going to slide behind a plasterboard since here it's closed. And I also need to have a sliding door, so a temporary sliding door. It's just for the duration of the work. Okay, so for now we'll focus on this plasterboard partition and we'll install the door. Now that we've seen what to do, I'll explain our next steps. I have Geberit Duofix studs, which are telescopic and adjustable in height, but they're much thicker than standard rails or studs. For plasterboard, it's 1.5 millimeters thick, so I need a pretty strong screw to go through the stud, and in front of the stud, I'll put plasterboard, BA 13 solid rock from Signat. So it's a high hardness board, resistant to heavy loads, resistant to impacts, moisture, and noise, but that's in addition to the Geberit stud. You need a strong screw, especially for high hardness boards, and there are special types for that. Don't force it, the screw will go in itself. I need one that goes through both the board and the stud. Well, I found the ultimate screw. It's the JXD drill point. So the JXD drill point screw, you can call it whatever you want, self-drilling, self-tapping, it doesn't matter. It's specially designed for drywall, so I'll be able to go through my drywall. And the Geberit stud is no problem. So these screws have a core diameter of 3.5 and come in lengths of 25 or 35. And for those who are wondering, JXD is part of SPAC. SPAC is for the world of wood, and JXDC is for the world of drywall. The advantage is you can find them at do-it-yourself stores without needing a professional supplier. To attach the drywall to the Geberit stud, I used 25mm screws, which are more than enough. Before testing, I'll set up on my workbench and film it for you in slow motion and macro mode. So here, the idea is to use the drywall block. I press here, it lifts the drywall, and I lock it with this part. My hands are free, I can screw, so why am I doing this? Simply to screw and have my hands free. But above all, to check that, on the other side, I really have a solid panel going through. It's just a few millimeters, so I don't want to bother cutting it again for only 2. Logically, I should have started here, then pressed this side and made it flush with the frame. But why am I not pressing here? Because I still have the drains to install. For the washing machine, the water inlets, for the bathtub and the washing machine. I'm simply putting up this drywall so I can connect to it. For the partition and the door, it's as simple as that. So here I press, the panel is lifted, I check that I'm properly connected. We're good, we lock it, and I can let go. So now we can screw the drywall onto the Geberit stud. You don't even need to force it. The drill tip will go through the stud and I just let the screwdriver do the work. Just so you know, I just went through both layers of the stud, the female part and the male part of the Geberit stud. And I also used the same screws to attach the drywall to the rail at the ceiling level. Alright, for this drywall, it's done. I just put 2 screws on the right side. That's more than enough since I'm going to add a rail on the floor and a rail on the ceiling. Place a stud against the drywall and add screws that will go into the stud. Geberit, we're going to secure this side. And then I put up the partition between the door and the closet, and he's over there trying to eat me. A cardboard box is always cheaper than kibble, so that's a win. What's left of it? An Amazon box, that's good. The Amazon box, it seems to be good. What are you doing? What is he doing? Jazz? He ate the box. He ate the box. So, for those who are wondering, the Geberit frame is a telescopic frame. You can adjust its height. There. For now, it moves because I haven't attached any drywall to it yet. As soon as I screw on my drywall or wooden board, no matter what you've attached to your frames, the male and female parts will be fixed together and I'll have just one single frame. You could hang from it afterward, it won't collapse. For this board, it's done. I've screwed everything in, the intermediate frames. I put another one next to it while I was at it. Let's keep going. I could go all the way, but I need to install the water inlets and the drains. So this side is good. This one, we've seen it. It's the bathroom door. I put it there. In the meantime, we'll put up the partition, the structure, we'll put up the drywall, and we can install the door. And of course, we'll have to close it just above. What I also wanted to show you, still about the JX screws, and this also applies to SPACs. It's the box that's very well designed compared to regular screw boxes. You open it from the front, everything falls out here. You see it's like a kind of drawer, so of course I can take everything out, take my little tray with the screws, or I can just leave it. I can't do it one-handed, but you get the idea. You can close it up. There wasn't much to cut, but still, it's always better, the right size. We'll install the rail on the ceiling first to avoid a bottom rail that could get in the way or be stepped on. Here I used 2 screws and placed a reinforcement above, secured with 2 screws. I'll film it so you'll see. I added cross pieces to support the reinforcement, screwed it from underneath, and now it holds. I can remove the cross pieces afterward. So I can put the rail directly, and for now I've put in 2 screws. There we go, we press. Of course, one fell off, it's not a big deal. The other one is held in place, and I can screw directly into the wooden reinforcement. Honestly, the wooden reinforcement is more valuable than any anchor. Subtitles and a little third one for the road. And for him, it's over. And there, you can hang yourself afterwards with the wooden reinforcement just above. I can guarantee you it holds. We're now installing the track at floor level. We check that we're properly aligned. We put a scrap piece of wood inside, step on it. That way we don't crush the track. We can drill directly and then we insert the anchor. So for the tracks, they're fixed, they won't move. I can place the stud against the drywall, one at the end and two intermediate studs. So we take a stud, slide it into the bottom track, then the top track, turn it and press it in place. The drywall is installed, secured, and won't move. On the other side, I need to add fiberglass insulation, but I must screw through the drywall first. And it's the same on this side in the door frame, so the door is here. I set the laser at 1 meter from the finished floor, using the existing floor of the house as a reference. And compared to the bottom of the door, I had 99.5, so 5 m of clearance under the door. I prefer to have 1 cm, so I put a shim. The black shim is 5 m thick. You take, depending on the thickness, the red, yellow, blue or green shim. It doesn't matter. We shim it, it raises the door frame, and in the end, I have exactly 99. So 1 cm of space under the door. I could have cut it again, but if I can avoid cutting it again, it saves me time. At least I don't have to touch the door, so I'll move it back. 7 cm, I've marked everything. I'll explain soon why I'm adding guides on both sides of the clamps and inside. Now I just need to press the door in place since it's aligned. The door is installed, it's plumb, it's level, we're good. The door frame is pressed against the straight edge, which is secured by a single clamp to the jamb. I added another clamp on the opposite side, and now it stays firmly in place without moving. Did you see my awesome handle? Now that's style. I put in 35 mm screws just to hold the door frame, and now I'm replacing them with hinge screws. Now that I've checked that it opens and everything is fine. And of course I can remove the screws, they're no use to me anymore, so hinge screws like this, we take them out, otherwise everything breaks. And now at least it holds. We open it, so I brought the switch, of course, for the bathroom. And if you want to check that your door is properly installed, well, you open it. And it shouldn't move at all. The door, not move, it's properly aligned, it's well set, everything's fine. You can close it and it should stay in position. Perfect, it shouldn't open or close by itself. Impeccable and good. Now we just have to keep pressing down this side. The inside of the cabinet is finished, covered and screwed in. I also added electrical conduits, so there's now an outlet at the bottom. And an outlet at the top, it can always come in handy. I'm not installing the flush mount boxes yet, since I might use a double box. I want at least 2 outlets at the bottom for the vacuum and something else. There will be a dedicated outlet for the washing machine in the corner. So here, I'm installing a membrane behind the structure. There are 2 ways to install and glue it. I'll explain to you and tell you why I'm doing this. This prevents the fiberglass insulation in the structure from touching the door. When the door slides, it creates airflow that can bring fiberglass particles into the house, which we then breathe in. That's unhealthy. Another reason is that if one day the fiberglass insulation falls out of the structure, I'll push the door and it will compress the fiberglass, causing the door to get stuck. We can't open it now and must take everything apart. There are 2 ways to install it. Either attach your membrane with tape and wrap it around. So put on gloves because these are real razor blades. But the tape, you see this? For example, that's a piece of glove that got stuck in there. The tape is this one. It's tough, it's short, it sticks really, and once it's in place, it's impossible to remove. If you want to wax yourself, your bikini line or legs, you can, but it will remove everything. So, you make strips. Every 15 cm you lay down the membrane, you put the fiberglass in, and you're good. Or you can go all the way around, your choice. Alright, for this part it's done. Did I do the 1.20 meter panel? There you go, a cut with the saw right in the middle. I flipped one part over. Now I have the edge by hand, saw in the middle, so joint tape, full skim coat. You know the story, but at least on this side, I don't have a hand-sawn edge. I'm not going to fix it with compound just to have a full panel at the corner. I'll add an aluminum finishing profile to reinforce the corner, since even though the panel is high hardness and impact resistant, it's not completely safe. When moving furniture through the door, bam, one hit and the corner is broken. And on this side, if I want to make a hand-sawn edge, well, it's only for 7 or 8 centimeters. And along the entire height, I route about 3 mm and I have my hand-sawn edge. Then I'll continue with another panel. Most likely a 60, since the goal later is to take apart the furniture to break down the partition behind it, but we'll see about that much later. For now, I need my furniture during the renovation, even for the attic. So behind the panel, there's fiberglass, the membrane, and now the solid rock. So for this part, it's done. So for this part, it's done. You saw I put wooden reinforcements in the structure, solid rock panels on each side for my future sliding door. I keep adding reinforcements, but I still need to attach the rail. I'll film everything for you, then you'll see why this part is temporary, simply because the door originally needs to come more over here. Right now, I need my cabinet here for the renovation, but once the work is done, this part will be removed and moved over here. We'll redo it together. So I'm installing a sliding door and it will block the noise, the dust, and maybe even the cold. When winter comes, of course, the cold can get in, which can be a problem. So we're blocking the noise, the dust, and the cold. So the bathroom door is done at the top, it's covered, same as before. On the other side, I need to plane the edge a bit and keep covering the partition edges. But I'll see about that when I start working with the drywall to cover the bathroom. I'm not going to start cutting a whole sheet just to have a full sheet here. I shouldn't edge this side or it'll be hard to fix. I'm counting the sheets now, so we'll see about the scraps. That's all done. I have yellow shims all around the frame simply to leave space for cleaning. Expansion, that's the first reason. It's a wooden frame. It will definitely shift over time because there's humidity in the bathroom. And the second reason is if one day I want to change the frame, at least I can make a hole with a hole saw in this plasterboard. Same thing. On the other side, I measured the screws each time, starting from either the ceiling or floor. And I know where to drill, so I could remove the frame very easily. I would just have to change this off. Because in the house, it happened to me that I wanted to move a piece of furniture through a hallway and damage the door frame. And I always thought the best thing is to install the frame like this. If I damage the corner, it's the plasterboard that gets the coating and paint. It's easier to fix than a door frame. The closet interior is finished. Just plasterboard and 2 useful electrical outlets. You never know, the one at the bottom could be for plugging in a vacuum cleaner, and the one at the top, we don't know, but might as well put it in. It could always be useful. I told you though, I have one regret. It's that I put a reinforced board inside the closet. Reinforced boards are more expensive, but standard boards work fine inside the closet. At most, you'll get a few marks. Impact damage won't happen unless you intentionally break the closet. Because you might get frustrated if you can't grab a box, but that stays inside the closet. So no impact near the bathtub mixer, since the bathtub is right here. I'll stop here. With the plasterboard just above and below, we'll make a kind of closet out of plywood or melamine. It doesn't matter. So that we can access the water inlets and drains, so the next step is to focus on the trap. To access the crawl space, I also need to bring in the water supply, so I have to cut off the main water supply, run it up behind the support frames, and connect the water heater. I hope to have the water heater by then so I can bring it in. It will be easier to make the trap before moving it over a hatch. I want it to be solid. You never know. If the water heater explodes and drops into the crawl space, I'll look like an idiot. So we push the water heater to the back, we make our hatch, and you'll see there's nothing extraordinary about it. With a bit of concrete, it practically does itself. Thank you for watching this video. We'll see each other again very soon. In the meantime, take care and see you very soon.